I think I need a new camera. Hello everybody, I'm Sarah and I'm a recorder player. Welcome back to my channel on everything about the recorder and also general music stuff. Today's video has been requested so many times. I would say about half of the emails I get about subjects for videos involve this in some way. It is how to play. Hi! With the recorder, there are all kinds of issues we face when we're trying to hit the highest notes. Making sure we reach them without cracking the note, keeping your air pressure, jumping from low notes to high notes. There's all kinds of pitfalls we can fall into. But today I'm going to give you a bunch of helpful tips for when you're hitting the high notes and also some exercises. So I'd like you to go and apologise for your neighbours in advance because we're going high! First, a little bit about the recorder. How high can you actually go? I would say 2 octaves and a 6th, 2 octaves and a 7th if you're really going to push it. Go higher, but I've been practicing a lot on this poor little recorder and I don't want to ruin it anymore. The recorder has different registers. What is a register? Different sections of the range of the instrument, and in each register the instrument and the air within it behave slightly differently. So our first register is everything from the holes covered to no holes covered. The second register is from the G sharp to the D. The third register, then we have, and the fourth register then continues from the G. When you're within a register, it's quite easy to play. The air isn't changing so much within the instrument, but it's changing between registers. So going from low to high, that you have the problems. You can already hear it if you've ever tried to trill between a G and an A. You hear this like gluk, 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 gluk. I can demonstrate jumping between the 2nd, 3rd and 4th registers on my soprano recorder. I'm not going to change my fingers, but only my airstream. Probably one of the most annoying sounds in the world. So when you're hitting a high note, it's useful to know if that note is in the same register of what came before it or after, or not. There are 2 things of vital importance. The first is the thumb hole, and the second is your airstream. For the notes of the 2nd register and above, you are almost definitely going to be half holing it. You have the thumb hole on the back, and that is covered for the notes of the 1st register. But when you go up, you need to open it slightly. Now, here's the tricky thing. You're not exactly opening it halfway every time. Every note is going to react a little bit differently. And a general rule of thumb is the higher you go, the less you need to open the hole. With the A, doesn't really matter what you do with the thumb. It kind of changes the overtones a little bit, but you can get away with being quite lazy in your thumb. However, the higher you go, the more precise you need to be with that thumb hole. If I play the high F, my thumb hole is only open, I'd say not even a millimetre, half a millimetre. It's very precise. How to practice this? Take your note. Let's take a high D, and we're going to repeatedly play it. Every time I want you to change your thumb position slightly. Sometimes it will work, sometimes it won't, but then you know where it should be. Let's talk about thumb position. Contrary to popular belief, you do not need to close the thumb hole with this soft, fleshy part of your thumb. And it doesn't even have to be the middle of your thumb. I actually use this area here, slightly on the side. The reason is I want to have a good overall hand position. If you close your thumb hole with this part, then you have to put your thumb flat on the back, and then you actually end up with this hand position, which does not look very comfortable at all. You want to have as close to a very relaxed circle as you possibly can, and if you make this sign with your hand, you'll actually see that your finger is touching the thumb slightly on the side, and that is where you want to be covering your recorder. Oh my god, how can I show this? Then if you have your thumb nicely placed like this, all you have to do is this. That's so much easier than... By the way, octave jumps are excellent practice for the high notes. Thumbnail! Make sure your thumbnail is no longer than this. If your thumbnail is long, it's going to get in the way. Air is going to leak out from underneath it, and you're going to end up scratching a groove into your recorder. Keep your thumbnail short. The other important component of hitting those high notes is your airstream. We have these 4 different registers, and each register requires a slightly different airspeed. A lot of people think playing high is about blowing really hard. That's not actually true. The best way I can describe it is blowing fast. Now, I talked about this a lot in my video, How to Sound Good on a Soprano Recorder. In this video, I was talking about fast and slow airstreams, and this is really applicable here. In short, a fast airstream is like when you're blowing cold air, and a slow airstream is like when you're blowing warm air. I'm getting to the point. The lower registers, the first register, you want to be blowing warm, slow air. To hit the higher registers, you need to increase your airspeed. You need to be blowing fast. Notice when I'm doing that, I'm very relaxed. There's no but in all of this, your articulation can be a great help. Start your high note with a nice firm. That gives it a bit of an extra push without pushing it too high and out of tune. If you are making a jump from a low register to a high register, remember the key is adjusting your airspeed, going from... You can help yourself mask this by adding a bit of vibrato. I will take you through some of my own exercises for playing high notes and overcoming those register jumps. The first one is you're going to pick your problem high note. I'm going to go with the D. Nice and slowly, we're going to play a chromatic scale starting low but alternating with that high D. The key is remembering to adjust your airspeed. And you're continually practicing where exactly your thumb should be going and how much you should be articulating. Let's turn this exercise around. We're going to keep our constant note as the low F, and we're going to be changing those high chromatic notes. Why did my top F crack? I think it's because I started with the airspeed a little bit too slow. I didn't quite push it up into that register enough, and my articulation could have been more decisive, and I probably opened the thumb hole too much. So basically I got everything wrong. This is an obvious one, but arpeggios. We're going to take the arpeggio of F major, play it quite slowly, and really listen to every note. Also, broken chords are great to do because you're giving yourself an extra jump of a sixth in between every time. There. So that's quite nice for register change playing practice. even extend that jump by extending the arpeggio. If you're looking for some studies to try, I really like the Frans Bruggen 5 studies for finger control, number 2, and this one is really great for smooth playing across the registers. If you are a soprano or tenor player, I also really like the studies by Alan Davies. These are called 15 studies for decant or tenor recorder, and it's also published by Schott. And again, funnily enough, number 2 is a really nice one for smooth legato playing in a high register. And of course, you can add your own articulation to this. My last tip with the high notes is don't be scared. The best thing to do is get really familiar with them. Spend extra time in your practice playing those high notes, enjoying them, and really trying to understand why they work and why they don't. Make them your friends, and then when you come to play them in a piece, you're not like, oh my god, the F's coming, oh my god, the F's coming, oh my god, ah! But you're like, thank you for watching my video on how to hit those high notes. It was a lot of quite general information this time, but I feel like you need to take it away, spend some time with it yourself in the practice room, but do let me know how you got on. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm making regular videos on all different aspects of recorder playing and general music making. Again, things are going so fast. Last week we had 800 subscribers, now we're almost at 900, so I'm so happy there are so many like-minded musicians out here in the world. You can also keep up to date in the things that I'm doing on my Twitter and Instagram, and they have the same name, that is Sock My Shoe. The story for why I have this username will definitely come at a later date. Until then, have a fantastic day and happy recorder playing. Bye!